So that's today's topic that I'll be talking about. And before you say, wait, anyone can cheat, let me reiterate that when I say women can't cheat as men can, it's not to say that they don't have the game or the skill to or the capability. It's more they should not cheat. And I'm not saying men should cheat or anyone should cheat, but the argument I am making is that women who cheat is far more detrimental than when a man cheats. Let me explain why. So, first of all, men are naturally more visible creatures. So, and if we're all being honest with ourselves, men are naturally more horny. They want to, they'll literally fuck anything at any given moment if they're horny. I've said this many times. And if you're a guy, you understand. I try to explain it to women. They don't quite understand it. But if you're a guy, you can understand. If you're feeling horny and you haven't, busted a nut in a while, you will literally fuck anything. Even the ugly girls that you turn down, they start looking attractive. You just want to fuck something. And again, that's more of a manly thing than a woman trait. There are some hoes out there, especially in today's day and age, especially in the US and Western society. But it's more of a society thing, and it's not more of an instinctive thing. Women deep down don't want to be hoes. There are some outliers. There are some women who naturally are maybe have more masculine traits and are like to have multiple sexual partners, but generally that is not the case. You might have heard it before, but women seek quality in men, and men seek quantity. So, if you're a guy and you're being totally honest with yourself, if you could have multiple girlfriends, or let's say one main chick, that's the girl you like, that's the girl you love, and everything, but you have a couple of side pieces, if you could, without the headache, and without your girlfriend getting upset at you for it, then of course any guy would want that. That would be the ideal situation for any man. If they're being honest with themselves, they will tell you that. Any man would want multiple sexual partners if they could. Most men are not capable of that. Heck, I'd say about half of men can't get any or can barely get any nowadays. So that's the first point. Naturally, men are more horny, in layman's term. But another example to illustrate this is, why is it natural? You could say, why is it natural in men and not in women? You're just making things up. I could, and it's off my personal experiences and beliefs and what I've heard. But let me give you an example of why it might be inherently in our bodies, in our brain, for us to be this way. So let's say this is back way in the olden days. Let's go back to caveman days, even back when science was not even a thing, really. Let's say there was one woman, and she was a hoe. She had 10 guys she would have sex with. She would sleep with all of them. And let's say she gets pregnant. She now has a baby. Without DNA testing, back then, they didn't know who the father was in this case. So the woman would have a baby, would be pregnant, and all those 10 guys wouldn't know that they're the father. So why would they want to deal with that? Why would they want to take care of it if they don't know that it's even theirs? None of them would. So if a woman had intercourse with 10 men and she got pregnant and they don't know who it is, she is now not going to have a man to provide for that child and protect the child and her. Which back in the olden days, you needed a man to protect the woman. That's not sexist, it's not anti-feminist, it's just that's the way things were back then. Men were naturally stronger, they were the protectors and providers. So in that case, if you have one hoe amongst 10 men, it's a disaster. So women would not be incentivized to be hoes back then. They needed to have a man to protect them and to protect the baby, to provide for them. So back in the day, naturally, women did not want multiple sexual partners. Now let's switch it up. Let's say a man had sex with 10 women. He slept with 10 women. And let's say one of the women get pregnant. He now knows, okay, I'm the father to that kid. He can now father it, protect her, and provide for them because he knows that that's his family. He knows exactly who he slept with. That's the girl that got pregnant, and he will father that child and protect that mother and love that mother and love that family. So even back in the olden days, you can go all the way back until we had science and DNA testing. Up until that point, women were not incentivized to have multiple sexual partners. And so that's the main point I want to make about this. That's why, again, as a Christian man and a man of God, I don't necessarily promote cheating at all. But I will say, from a truthful standpoint, from a biological standpoint, and if we're all being honest, and being honest with myself and the experiences and data that I have, it is far worse when a woman cheats and is promiscuous and is a hoe than a man.